You're listening to Beyond the Call, a podcast about the people who work behind the scenes and on the front lines in the world of healthcare. I'm Jasmine Jenkins, and today we're talking about something that doesn't show up on any chart: burnout. So, what is burnout? Burnout can be defined as workplace stress that is not managed effectively. It's mainly characterized by emotional exhaustion and a reduced sense of accomplishment. What does it look like? Nursing is one of the most trusted professions in the world. Nurses hold hands through trauma, deliver life saving care, translate complex medicine into human language, and they often do it all on an empty stomach with back to back 12-hour shifts and 5 call lights going on at once. But behind that professionalism is exhaustion, deep, bone tired emotional fatigue. And here's how one nurse described it.
What are your thoughts on bedside burnout, and do you think it would happen to you?
I do think eventually we all get a little burnt out, but I think with rest and reanalyzing and remembering why we got into it might help with that.
It is a thing, and I think people need to talk about it more. Start projecting and start having bad care on your patients, and you start, making mistakes because you're not fully present. You're burnt out.
Definitely think it's very real and very possible for it to happen. I try my best for it not to happen to me. I continue to have friendships outside of work. I continue to have hobbies that I do, on the weekends. I try to maintain the same life that I had before nursing, and that's really has kept me afloat.
Probably what happened to me. Bedside burnout is definitely a real thing. That's why teamwork is so important.
Do I think it'll happen to me? I have no idea.
Sound familiar? If you're a nurse, chances are you felt it. According to the American Nurses Association, over 60% of nurses report symptoms of burnout, including emotional exhaustion, depersonalization, and reduced sense of accomplishment. And that was before the pandemic. Burnout isn't just about being tired, it's about being depleted. It's when your compassion starts to fade, not because you don't care, but because you've cared too much for too long and without enough support.
Basis.
Our unit is taking care of the worst COVID, right? They're intubated, they're on life support.
Things are as bad as ever inside Shauna Buchanan's unit.
With this Delta variant, it's worse in the respect that it's reaching people who are younger, who aren't sick to begin with.
So one could understand this mom of 3 wanting to do something else.
To see that every single day, to be a part of people's worst day of their lives every single day, it takes a toll on your heart.
Some healthcare workers say they have nothing left to give.
I wouldn't be doing this if we weren't all in this together.
According to a Kaiser Family Foundation poll, about 3 in 10 have thought about leaving their jobs. More than half are burnt out, and 6 in 10 say stress from the pandemic has harmed their mental health.
The burnout rate was high pre-pandemic, but it is the toll that this pandemic is taking is very significant.
Katie Galbraith is in charge of 2,300 team members at Duke Regional Hospital.
I think it's always reminding ourselves why we're here, and we are here for our patients, we are here for our community, and reminding our team members of the difference that they're making.
Just be kind to one another. Everyone in the world is going through this pandemic.
To get through things, Sean and her team have focused on adding some humor to their days, in addition to an extra hug. They also get together and talk about what they've seen. Her manager also got her team Alexas so they could bring some joy into a tough space.
Maybe it's the emotional weight of patient loss. Maybe it's the constant short staffing, or the 16-hour shifts, or the fact that sometimes you don't get a bathroom break for 8 hours straight. Burnout builds slowly, then one day it hits like a wall. Some of the symptoms of burnout include feeling constantly overworked, regularly feeling too tired to get to your job, not looking forward to your job, and feeling like you're unappreciated and that your work doesn't matter. Here's the thing. Burnout doesn't just affect the nurse. It affects everyone. It leads to increased medical errors, it affects patient safety, it causes incredible turnover, and for the nurse, it can even lead to depression, anxiety, and even PTSD.
Angry at an American public that is only half listening.
I hope that the last moments of your life don't look like this. Because this is what you'll see at the end of your life if we don't start wearing masks.
We're understaffed. We have so much on our plates as nurses.
With coronavirus cases now over 13 million and continuing to climb, up in 44 states in the past 2 weeks, roughly 90,000 Americans are hospitalized, ICUs are overwhelmed.
It's not entirely clear to us that we're going to be able to move personnel from cool spots to hot spots because the hot spots are everywhere.
When the caregivers break, who's left to care? So what can be done? Burnout isn't just a personal problem, it's a systemic one. That means hospitals, clinics, and governments need to step up. Better staffing ratios, mental health support, scheduled breaks that are actually protected. But there are also things that we, as individuals, can do to survive and even heal. If you are ever feeling burnt out, here are some things you can do to help prevent it. Number 1 is getting enough rest. It's imperative that a nurse receives the proper amount of sleep between shifts. If this isn't happening, talk to the person in charge of your schedule. Number 2 is taking breaks. Regularly taking the time to disconnect from the workplace to recharge is crucial in any work environment, but especially nursing. Number 3 is asking for help. Having that emotional support from a healthy support system can take the mental load off of patient care.
Interventions that we can apply. Self-care is perhaps one of the most important components of preventing the physical aspects of burnout. Self-care means eating healthy and regularly, getting enough sleep, and getting exercise. Also, take time to do things that help relieve stress for you, like yoga, meditation, listening to music, playing sports, or reading. Secondly, find a balance between life and work. Utilize family and friends. Most of us have vented to family and friends about a bad day. For some of us, this is a very good way to control stress. Finally, counseling. If you notice signs and symptoms of burnout in yourself or in a coworker, counseling may be the best intervention for this situation. Professional patient-directed interventions include advocating for adequate staffing and speaking with management about manageable workloads. Foster a team atmosphere in the workplace by supporting each other, being available, being flexible, and scheduling and receiving others' views on different issues, being competent, and being open to communication. Finally, create interpersonal relationships at work by having respect for everyone on the healthcare team and working together to improve client outcomes.
Maybe it's time we stop pretending we're invincible. Maybe it's okay to say, I need help too. If you're a nurse listening right now and you're feeling the weight, know this. You are not weak for being tired. You are not broken for needing rest. And you are not alone. Thank you for listening to the Beyond the Call. If this episode resonated with you, share it, talk about it, start the conversation, because no one should burn out in silence. Until next time, take care of yourself, like you take care of everyone else.